What would drive a kind person to commit murder? Is it possible to justify a crime in the name of a greater good? These are some of the questions Fyodor Dostoevsky explores in one of his masterpieces, Crime and Punishment. The psychological analysis in this novel is perfectly applicable to modern society, in an era where social media bombards us with images of success and happiness, making it easy to fall into envy and resentment. The protagonist shows us how these emotions, if left unchecked, can lead us down a dark path. Analysis of the main character. Rodion Raskolnikov, an antisocial, arrogant, and extremely intelligent young man with delusions of grandeur, is trapped in extreme poverty and hatches a monstrous plan to murder an old pawnbroker whom he visits several times to pawn his few valuables for survival. At first glance, Raskolnikov seems completely ordinary. In fact, even a reader might identify with some of his traits and his circumstances. A penniless, friendless student with a family doing everything they can to support him. His mother sends him the little money she earns from her pension, and his sister works as a maid in a wealthy household to contribute to the family. However, their situation is about to change when Raskolnikov receives a letter from his mother explaining that his sister plans to marry a wealthy man, which would solve their financial woes. Raskolnikov reflects on this and vehemently opposes his sister practically prostituting herself to improve the family's standing. This context sets the stage for the crime. But are these the true reasons Raskolnikov decides to kill? The easy answer is no. While these factors contribute to his mindset, as the novel progresses, we uncover a darker depth to his psyche. After committing the murder, Raskolnikov is plagued by intermittent paranoia. His motives remain unclear, even to himself. What is evident is his erratic behavior. Despite committing a horrific act, he clings to ideals of kindness and generosity, helping the needy even at the cost of his own destitution. One might assume these acts are attempts to soothe his guilt, but his altruism predates the crime. How can a soul charitable toward the vulnerable also commit such a crime? The answer likely lies within. Considering his personality, his altruism might stem from a desire for self-glorification and maintaining a lofty self-image. Though Raskolnikov frequently criticizes his sister's fiancé, Pyotr Petrovich Luzin, a wealthy, cultured man with a towering ego, his hypocrisy is clear. Raskolnikov himself displays arrogance, rejecting help from his family and friend Razumikin despite desperately needing it. But what idea could infect a mind so thoroughly as to drive it to murder? The answer varies, but Raskolnikov's traits led him to rationalize his own reasoning. The theory of the two groups. Long before the murder, while still a student, Raskolnikov publishes an article proposing that society divides into two distinct groups. The first, and largest, is the herd, ordinary people with trivial desires and mundane purposes. The second comprises exceptional individuals who pursue grand goals to benefit society, even if it means breaking moral or legal codes. Raskolnikov argues that such individuals, like Napoleon Bonaparte, who led invasions and defied norms, should be exempt from judgment, as their actions serve a higher purpose. Amid depression and hardship, Raskolnikov grows resentful of societal injustice. Envy and arrogance fester in his analytical mind as he observes those he deems intellectually and morally inferior being celebrated for wealth and connections. This fuels his desire to test his theory. Believing himself exceptional, he resolves to commit an audacious act, murder, to prove he belongs to this elite group. Just as Napoleon invaded Egypt and killed thousands for French interests, Raskolnikov seeks to validate his courage and transcend the limitations of the herd. I submit to ethics, but I cannot comprehend why it is more glorious to bombard a besieged city than to murder someone with an axe. Respect for ethics is the first sign of weakness. Never have I been more convinced of this than now. I cannot understand, and I understand less each day, what my crime truly is. In desperate confession to Sonia, a young prostitute he grows to love, Raskolnikov reveals his crime to unburden his guilt. I needed to know, and quickly, whether I was a louse like everyone else or a man. Whether I could step over all obstacles, dare to seize power, whether I was a trembling creature or had the right to act. Final reflection. All humans possess shades of Raskolnikov's traits. Envy mixed with youthful arrogance, compounded by life's circumstances, can breed resentment toward those with better fortunes. We must not let this resentment fester, for it grows with us, stifling progress and self-improvement. Scorn for others can become a comfort. It is easier to belittle those who possess what we lack, wealth, intelligence, status, than to confront our own envy. To avoid the pain of inferiority, we diminish others, fixating on their flaws to elevate ourselves. Yet we remain stagnant. If you see the stupidity of others, why not strive to prove yourself smarter? Later, I realized waiting for everyone to become intelligent was a waste of time. And then I became convinced this moment would never come. That people cannot change. Try to alter them is futile. Yes, this is truth. It is human law. And now I know. Those with iron will and powerful intellect easily dominate others. The boldest are seen as right. Those who defy and despise others earn their respect, becoming lawmakers. This has always been and will always be. Only the blind fail to see it. So, the next time envy tempts you to belittle someone, remember Raskolnikov. Ask yourself, are you building your own path or digging a deeper hole? Do not let self-perceived superiority, fueled by ego, paralyze your growth. Sometimes the hardest path carries us farthest. Do not fear suffering. For this, humanity was made. Please like and subscribe if you want me to keep making these videos.